Pulse of Polynesia in the hot seat, where we elevate the voices, stories, and strength of Polynesian people across the world. We welcome all our viewers, especially the ones in the Pacific region, but also welcome those who are viewing from the United States and other parts of the world. We want to give a special shout out to MC Jay Smooth and Chaff with the KSBS radio station American Samoa. I am your host, Tasia Yafe Arlington, and joining me from Anchorage, Alaska is my co-host, Ron Posala. Yeah, talofa lava, Ron.
Hey, Talo for everyone. It's good to see you. Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Ron. Well, tonight, joining us is one of our sons of Samoa. Born and raised in Auckland, New Zealand, his athletic career began in 2003 when he joined the Samoa rugby team and later playing professionally in Europe. In addition to his athletic career, he had developed a passion for music, particularly as a DJ. In the early 2000s, he became a well known figure in the music industry, currently residing in Phoenix, Arizona, where he transitioned into a successful entrepreneur and promoter. With a strong background in logistics, having served as a national manager in transport logistics, he continues to build his brand, leveraging his experience and network to drive innovation and growth. In the hot seat, we welcome DJ Star Cole. Talofa lava, DJ Star. Welcome to Pulse of Polynesia's In the Hot Seat.
Hey, thanks for those kind words. Thanks for having me on. Chief Tassi, DJ Ronnie Ron, and Leaso. Appreciate you guys reaching out to me. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you, especially one of our members of our Manu Samoa rugby team, and it's good to hear all the progress that you've made, as a secondary career. So, welcome again. But before we get into the meat of our interview, I just wanted to open it up to you and Ron. Just share with us the stories. Like, how did you guys meet? How did you guys get to know each other?
Man, I saw him on a bridge, and I was just kidding. I was
No, it
kidding.
was a dark alleyway. It was a dark alleyway.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. And that's the time he had long hair and stuff like that, and I was like, wow. I was just kidding. No. Hmm.
Oh,
Oh, you
man.
you go, you go, bro. I mean, well, no, I mean, he was. We had one of a good usos out here reached out to me. Shout out to Lewis. And he said that there was a guy that he wanted to reach out and talk in regards to the music scene out here in Anchorage. So I said, yeah, give him my contact. And then then I contacted Star, and then we started talking about him coming here and stuff like that. Um, and little did I know, the Uso said, yeah, I'm gonna fly up there, in a couple of days. I was like, all right, cool. So he came up here and we met, and then the rest was history. I mean, I don't know how Star's gonna. I don't know how his first view of how we met, but that was basically in a nutshell for me.
Nice, nice. Yeah, no, I agree with what you said. Just a few things. Coming to Alaska was just a massive culture culture change compared to where I've been living here in Phoenix. So yeah, my I heard that the demographic of our Pacific people, a lot of them are up there for work and whatnot in Anchorage. So I I was connected through to also Saint from the Other Boys
Mm,
through a someone woman in Texas, uh, Dolly. So my idea was to just fly around to different states and try and establish some venues that I can cater to our Pasifika people, pretty much. So it's a gamble, but it's for me. I'm a go-getter. I'm willing to try things, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'll find another way to try and make it work. You know, Connecting with the right people is the first thing, and yeah, so I was really grateful to meet up with also Saint and DJ Roddy Ron.
everything's a journey, and sometimes you have to just test the waters. As they always say, you'll never make it anywhere unless you take that first step. So, don't be afraid to, step out of your element.
Yeah,
It's good to hear that everything's working fine with you.
yeah. The process has been a massive learning curve for me because I'm not from here, so knocking on doors, people would look at me and be like, "Who the hell's this guy coming?" like, so you're gonna get that along the way with anything we try and invest in. We try and that's all part of the journey. Yeah. So yeah, yeah.
All right. So now we sort of introduced both of you guys and now have a short history of how you guys met and sort of the transition to your new career, what you're in. So let's get right into it. So what is the story behind the name Star Cole? Share with us.
Mom and dad named me Star. My last name's Cole. My great granddad never jumped back on the boat when they came to Samoa. He was full German, and yeah, yeah. But you know what? It's funny you say that. I get that a lot. Like in general, when they call out your name at the doctors, or they call out your name wherever you are, and it's like, is that your real name? And you're like, yeah. Is that your birth name? I said, yeah. You know, but growing up and saying that, growing up in primary school and that, my sisters, like my immediate family, would call me Fitu,
Hmm.
and Tu for short. So obviously, like the friends and that would hear that and they would just call me Fitu, Tu, whatever. But then, like heading into the rugby scene, it was like more star, star, star. So yeah, yeah, that's how I got my name.
Yeah.
So I was a namesake. I was a namesake. So my mother's younger brother, his name was Fitu, and they named me Star.
Okay.
So
There we
yeah.
go.
So I just use it as my DJ name. So yeah.
I really thought that was like a stage name, dude.
Oh no, no, everyone does. Everyone does. Like
Yeah, no, for
it's not,
reals.
it's not normal to be called a shape or a star in the sky, or you know what I mean. Like yeah,
No, I was like, okay, and I was like, but I never really caught on to ask. I was like, I don't know, maybe that's just his. I mean, and it's a cool thing, right? DJ Star Cole. I was like, it's catchy, so I was like, all right, but I really thought that was like just like your stage name or something like that.
Right.
So,
It does fit.
but
It does fit.
now you know. New subscribers and followers on Facebook. Nice.
All right, let me cover this one real quick. Talofa, a new subscriber and follower on Facebook, became interested. Can you throw that one back up? Became interested because of Chief Tasi's take regarding the Tatau and Malu. Yeah, of Tailava, Professor Hummel. And from Janet, good evening, Pulse of Polynesia from Lawton, Oklahoma. So I got our Lawton, Oklahoma peeps calling in. Malo Lava DJ. There you go. Got more shout outs coming out.
Oh, Malo Professor Hummel, Malo.
Looks like a Ravens logo there in the background.
Nice.
Okay, so our next question: if you weren't doing DJing, and of course you did your sports thing, what else would you be doing right now if it wasn't for those two? Are there any other areas that you have passion for that you would like to pursue?
Um, I'm really passionate about my work. Obviously, I have a background in transport logistics, running operations in that field, and I still be doing that right now. Ultimately, yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy trying to make the company run better. There's always ways you can manipulate and your workers what to do and what not to make things better as a team collectively. So yeah, I enjoy doing that.
and then your other job, huh? Oh, that's cool. So you're in logistics, right? That's your background?
Yeah, yeah.
Man, nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've learned a lot over the years, but it's good. I started from the bottom. You know, it's funny you mentioned it. It's like I started off like years, a long time ago. After rugby, I never worked before, and I was a professional rugby player overseas. Moving to Australia, I had to get my first job, and I was trained. I worked as a storeman, and I hated it. I hated it because I've never worked before, and then all of a sudden I'm doing manual labor, and I'm just like, man, I should have stayed at school. I should have ko anga at school and whatnot. And then one time there was one time that one of the other brothers that was operating the forklift, it was lunchtime, and I said to him, bro, show me how to operate this here. I'm really sick of doing all the storeman duties. So anyway, he told me what to do and whatnot, and he went to lunch. So while they were going to lunch for like a week, here I was practicing on the lunch hour, on the lunch, because we have like 30-minute breaks. So here I was on the high reach forklift, practicing, and then all of a sudden, one day, one of the supervisors comes up. He's like, "Star, do you know how to operate this?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah, been, yeah, probably a few years." I really know. But anyway, I jumped on. He liked what I did, and he goes, "Okay, I want you to put all those on that rack and do this, do that." And I was like, "Yes." And then he goes, "Next week you'll be on the fork." And I said, "Oh, my license expired. I only had a license in New Zealand, so I had to get a new one." He goes, "Oh yeah, I'll put you down to go do your test and your license." So yeah,
Oh, nice.
so it's things like that. I started from there, and I just watched how all the operations work in the warehouse and the distribution center, and I got to learn different departments. You know, so yeah,
That's all in supply chain, huh?
yeah, pretty much, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I learned from that, and my mom always said to me, "There's someone saying, hey, I can't remember. It's something along the lines of, is it I bully? I know if you work on all the small things, it'll you can bully mertele, something like that."
Mm.
There's that Samoan quote. I can't remember the quote, sorry, but yeah. And she
And
was
if I
right.
may, and if I may, I'll show me what come on.
E mau special deals, you
One of our viewers just said when you lie on your resume and still somehow make it work.
Hey, but that's how we do it though. Like sometimes you really have to you almost have to. I mean, my thing is like, hey, if you see another person and they know how to do it, then if you have that will, there's always a way to do it. I mean, just like what Star just said, that's evident right there. Sometimes you have to fake it till you make it. And
Yeah.
now look.
Yeah. Well,
Now let's imagine you didn't do that. Imagine you weren't practicing.
Right.
oh,
They love Chena. They love your authentic way. So yeah. But no, that's exactly right. I mean, I know we joke about there's a saying, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. But still, that's how some people get ahead of others, right? You still have to find a way to get yourself forward.
Yeah, no doubt, for sure, for sure.
That's the saying. That's the saying that Professor
Yeah.
Amo just.
Kamaongi mea iti, na te pule mea tele. Okay, so I think he completed what that saying was. Tai lava. Tai lava
100%.
pasoa.
100%.
Yeah, o ai mea leo mua ato toi, angai wha ato toi mea utu, yeah, whawhatai. Yes, sir, Soroni. I want to go back to, I know I asked you this question offline earlier, but I love that story of your transition from rugby. But I was thinking, all these rugby players who are slowly trying to make it to the NFL, what was the hardest part for you making that, the Samoa team, Mon Samoa team, talk about the training. How did you beat out those other guys? I know we have a lot of good athletes. I mean, what do you think distinguish you from others?
I got lucky. Um, One of the great rugby players in New Zealand rugby, his name's Sir Michael Jones,
Hmm.
Michael Nicol Jones. So he saw me at one of the games, and gave me an opportunity the weekend after we were playing New Zealand, and I got to pretty much sit on the bench, and that was my opportunity right there. So obviously I played through a lot of rep teams in the age grade stuff, but really it's that was my opportunity when it came for Mum Samoa. A lot of because New Zealand's such a rugby nation, all the players it's a really massive depth of quality rugby players. You're fighting everyone. All the kids when they grow up, they want to be All Blacks. So the depth of the quality of the players back home is crazy. So yeah, I like I said, I was lucky.
You got to give yourself credit. I mean, it's just the way it is. You're always going to have good talent, but there's some part of you that beat out the other. So, but going back to what we were saying, looking at the NFL, just from your perspective, someone that's played at the high level in rugby, how challenging is it for those rugby players if they try to transition to the NFL?
It'll be a huge transition. I mean, there's a few successful stories here already with the NFL players that have transitioned from rugby. You look at that Mailata, man, he's amazing. I mean, I think the only hard thing, like from what I see, this is my opinion, is the guys getting used to learning a lot of plays. Like we're not talking like probably in rugby. I mean, this is my opinion again. There's probably like I don't know 30 various plays in the backs and forwards, and then you look at something like NFL. It's crazy. It's probably like more than 100 plays. So I think that would be the hard part. The physical side, I think, coming from rugby where you're not padded up, you're not geared up with anything. The rugby boys can take the hit. I think it's the mental side. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Livron, last position where would he fit in NFL?
Quarterback.
On top of the back.
Position. Hey, look, I'm not much to the Gatorade. Wait,
if it's really my lot of position on top of the back. Special position. Special team. No, special team. Hey, bro. So let me ask you, like, when did you feel the itch to catch that beat to be a DJ? When did you feel that?
Moving to Australia back in 2006. So I finished playing rugby in Italy. That was my last country I lived in. I went back to Australia. I signed a contract with the rugby back there in Brisbane, and I played rugby, but it's like I lost interest in it. So my friends from back home, they were established DJs, and they came from a music label that was well known. So like I said, I was a bit of a cutter before, and I'd hang out with the boys all the time, and they were DJing while they were DJing. So here I was, just tagging along with them and enjoying the music and stuff. But I had always loved music. You'd always catch me when I was playing rugby. I was always that guy that was just singing beats, just doing beats, things like that. So hanging out with my friends, it just became natural to, they said to me, hey, you might as well just start practicing. So, they'll take me to their gigs with them, and then all of a sudden they'll put me on the spot. Hey, they'll be like, sorry, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. Just jump on, you all right? Or just do my 1 or 2 songs. And here I was, my heart was like,
hey,
suddenly,
fake it till you make it.
but they had been showing me, like, during the week after work, we'll get together and they'll tell me to mix 2 songs. And these 2 songs I had to mix for how many days? I think like I spent like probably like a week on these 2 songs. So I had to mix it, like beat mix it. I had to drop it. I had to find where the best places to mix it. And I said, man, this is getting boring. I want to do something else. Show me some other songs. He goes, no, 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 no. Just get this right. Just get this right.
Right.
You can mix any song. So I thought, oh, just do it. But I was getting really impatient now, because of the 2 songs. I thought, man, I've mastered this. Show me something else. They go, nah, still do it. So anyway, long story short, my friend went to the bathroom. He never came back for half an hour, and I was like, every song is like my hands were kicking in, like just. I was trying not to make a mistake. Oh, so.
If I have a last scratch you.
Oh, there were definitely no scratching back then. That's for sure, man. But yeah, I'll never.
That was like the prime years of like the club bangers, like nowadays what we call throwbacks. Like the time of like the Sean Pauls or the Yin Yang Twins. That's when all those songs started coming out, and I think those were the days when the clubs were actually really hitting. And it's like, honestly, like there were so many people who wanted to be DJs back then too, and I think that was kind of like the hot thing at that point.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's funny you say that because I compare it to now, and with the technology, I mean, what you can do now, if you were to start off DJing, you could
Oh,
get it sorted out in maybe 2 weeks, just to perfect
yeah,
it with the
yeah,
technology, because there's so much technology, and obviously you got the net that people watch how to do things, and
yeah.
you could master that
You're right.
craft in 2 weeks. Whereas back then, it was the experience of learning how to read a crowd. There's different age
Yeah.
groups. There's different
What so
ethnics.
what is it? Lesser equipment? I mean, what's the difference now compared to then?
And
Oh,
technology was different back then, man. Serato
yes.
just came out, I think, in 2006.
Yeah, that's right.
Serato is
That's right.
like one of the main softwares that DJs, it's like a well-known software. And it was created, I think, from Australia, right?
New Zealand.
So New
New Zealand.
Zealand, see, yeah, New Zealand. So that's
Yeah.
like the main DJ software in the entire world. What one of them, but it's pretty much the top one. And we
Yeah.
didn't
So
nowadays we didn't have what we use now. Like it's like push and play, right? Back then it's
yeah,
like you
yeah,
really got to learn the craft. You
Mhm.
that's
really got
right.
to learn.
That's right. And before that, before Serato, it was like having a van full of crates, carrying
Mhm.
crates around of music.
CDs.
So you're actually changing a song with a CD or vinyl. So you're
That's
actually
right.
looking through a CD book, and you're like going, oh, yeah, no, not that song, not that song. Whereas now you've got like there's even better technology than the laptop. You can use an iPad and just
That's right.
scroll, and it's got like apps that can help you differentiate what a good set is of songs. It sort of comes for you, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean the
Yeah.
days of trying to, let's just say you're trying to get ready for a set. Back in the day, man, I had to take a whole 2 days to try to get this like all my set of songs. Nowadays, those are already picked out for you. You go on a certain app, they've already lined out 100 songs for you, or it's weddings or
Mhm.
parties or 21st. Like I said, nowadays it's just so easy, you know.
So the genre that you guys cover, is it a wide range, or do you select like I gotta stay on these types of bass of music?
I I'm more open format, but with the shows that I've been doing here, I I mainly do a lot of island reggae, your Pacifica music. So I cover a lot of the islands, different islands. So yeah, but I started off as a club DJ. Yeah,
Hey,
pretty much.
tell us, are there any stories like you accidentally played a Samoan music at a Fijian, venue?
Oh, they
You
love it. They love it
okay,
back home.
so
Any
it
any
blends
island song
across.
back home, it'll work because we're very united. We're very united in
Yeah, the
Australia.
vibes are like the same. Yeah, the vibes are
Like
almost the
it's
same.
you could play whatever Tongan song, it'll go off. You'll see a Samoan whakabaki and
Oh,
whatever.
really?
Like everyone just embraces it. Um, I've actually, what? I've got a story. I've got a story that put me on the spot, and I didn't know what to do at the time, but I just looked at him. I was thinking, just cool down, don't do anything. like, you know, because everyone was watching. So we had R&B actor, hip hop guy come over, and I DJ'd for him at one of the venues in Melbourne. A very funny story. I don't know, should I name the name? So we had Bow Wow. So I DJ'd for Bow Wow when he came over, and as he was finishing his set, he was like, "Okay, start." Like, you know, it was time for the nightclub bangers. So I played. I didn't think anything of it because I didn't know what the history is with him and the song that I was playing. So I played Sierra Level Up, and as I dropped the song, and it was playing, and then he was on the mic saying thank you to everyone and whatnot, and then he was like, he stopped, and like, this is a full blown concert. He stopped and he goes, "No, you didn't, no," and then he just started cursing and cussing me, and you know, because the song that I played, Sierra, that's his ex girlfriend, and yeah, he was really upset about that. So yeah, that's something I'll never forget. But
What'd you tell him? Well, what you gonna do?
Nah. I had a lot of my mates and friends in the audience that were messaging me. They were like, "Sorry." They were telling me to just rush him. I was like, "Nah, it's all good. It's all good."
You should have just grabbed him and put him in your bucket. Isn't he that small?
Yeah. I'll never forget that day. It was funny, man. Like, I felt like saying, "Bro, just get over it." But anyway, I love the guy, man. I love his music, bro. Crazy.
There was a
You prefer
question I wanted to bring back up here. It has something to do with Run It. You familiar with the Run It thing? Run It Straight?
Yeah, I've seen that a lot back home.
All right, give me a second while we pull up that Run It Straight question. Someone had asked a question about it.
Yeah, it's really popular.
What are your thoughts on the Run It Straight that's gaining traction on social media?
Like for me, as a former rugby player, I love it because I love that confrontation. I'm all about the hits and all that. But you know, there's a massive safety concern. They're trying to ban it back home right now. So, you know, but as a Polynesian, we love that confrontation stuff. You know, body on body. So yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot
Look.
online. Like it seems like the youngsters, they said it started in middle school, like, you know, in Australia. Is that something you guys did as kids, just line up and run at each other?
Yeah, I think it went viral back. I think this is going back COVID. It went viral in New Zealand, and you know, everyone just started doing the one-off. It wasn't like what it is now, where you've got like a whole crowd of people coming. It's an event and whatnot.
Mhm.
It started off like that from memory, and you know, everyone just have a good laugh at it, and you know, just joke about it. But then, yeah, like I said, it turned into something like this. So with the run it, yeah. There's a few.
It's interesting, man. It's just interesting to watch. That's why,
Oh,
you
I love
know.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad what's happened with one of the guys that I think
Yeah, someone passed away, right?
yeah. So yeah. Talking about the run it, like they even have the not the bare knuckle fights. They got the backyard fighting now in New Zealand. It's pretty, yeah, man.
I know. I started seeing that too.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, they put up prize money, and who wouldn't go to that to try it? But at the same time, certainly, who's gonna?
Hey, I mean, you know what? YouTube is a platform where everyone is just doing what they want to do right now, you know, and they're monetizing it. So if the
Yeah,
UFC is monetizing it, then why can't that dude in the backyard do the same thing? You know, I mean,
yeah, that's right.
you know, why not? You know,
Yeah,
just like to run it. Of course, they're gonna like say all the negativity about it, but that's just like how any other sport, even the
Right.
bare knuckle boxing, now that it's almost legit everywhere,
man.
you know, there's going to be downfalls, but as long as they figure out a way to make it safe, then
Yeah,
somebody's going to get rich off of that.
Sometimes it looks like it's not. I know the collisions are vicious, but sometimes it seems like when the guy hits the ground, you know, for the most part, it seems like when they hit the ground, it's like their head hits down. maybe they can throw some those cushions before the guy hits the ground. Maybe that'll save his head. I don't know.
I mean, you talk about 250, 300 pounders going full speed at each other. That's like concussion central right there,
Yeah,
man. That's crazy. I
they got
mean,
some insurance.
And if I was 20 years younger, I'd fly out there just to intern it. That's the honest truth. But I
right?
can't do but I can't do that anymore. Hey, nah, man. But man, I would love
No.
to. I used to love that stuff. Hey, just in your face stuff, man. But
Yeah, the
yeah.
contact and all that, huh?
I know. It's not just that. It's just egging him on. Like you're already gonna defeat him when he sees you that you're ready to kill someone. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. Have you done a lot of clubs out there in Arizona?
No, I haven't. I haven't looked into that at all. I was thinking of it, but I just thought I was trying to just work on the things that I'm doing now with the shows and
Right.
it's a lot of as a promoter, it's a lot of work to organize with the other side of the world and then actually getting them over here, and then you've got to there's so many things involved, visas, all that sort of thing now, and
Yeah,
then
it's crazy.
these things like people's concept is, oh yeah, easy, just get whoever over, fly them over, you know put them on stage, easy. But man, it's I wish it was like that. You know
Yeah.
some people, like, they agree, and then all of a sudden last minute before they jump on stage, they spit the dummy and say, hey, that thing we agreed on? Yeah. Well, sui kako plan. Like, that's like, no, but hey, that's just the scenario. I'm just throwing it out there. There's a lot of
Yeah.
things that can just change the whole situation now. Yeah. So it's a lot of work. And
Yeah.
I give it up to a lot of the established promoters out there that have been doing this for years. It's an industry where you've got to look after all your contacts and keep those contacts. And it's not like just calling up someone when you need something, are you?
Right.
But yeah, yeah.
You got to understand like the logistics of everything, It's all about the
Oh,
logistics too.
that's it. That's it, man. So
Do you guys
Yeah,
sometimes
that's
get
great.
double booked, like someone will book you and someone else at the same time, and you get that awkward thing where you show up and they had booked another person?
just I haven't. No.
I only had that one time here, which was, but sometimes when that happens, like if I got paid already, usually I'll already get paid. But I'm like, if I show up and then I know for sure the other guy didn't get paid, so I'm like,
Mhm.
I'll ask him. I was like, did you get paid? And if he says no, I was like, well, then I got paid, so I guess I got to do it. That it only happened one time with me here. That's it.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. No, I haven't
Yeah.
experienced that yet. But yeah, that'll be, yeah. One thing is I've done a few times is I don't know, Ron, like you probably experienced this, but when you rock up to a gig, they've got artists there singing, you're DJing, and then like there's no one there. There's no one. So, normally what I did with that was I just practice here. Like I'm jamming, but I'm just practicing. Like, and there's no one there at an event or at a function. So
But you still
Yeah,
got
I was.
paid. It was just no one was there for that event, but you got paid regardless, right?
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, me, as long as I'm like, hey, if I got paid, I'm
Yeah.
gonna just give it like 100%, like it was a packed house. I'm like, hey, I'm
Oh
good.
yeah.
Whether you show up or not, I'm gonna play, right? But I always look at the room and I'll be like, if you ain't here, I'm fine because I mean, hey, I got mine.
It's
You
like
can deal
calling
with the
family.
promoter.
Hey, family, let's pack this up.
Yeah.
Someone else showing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. There was a question that just popped up. Sorry, didn't get to it. You can throw that back on there. You can. I think we had a shout out from Uso Stowers. Let's see. Okay, we got this one. Exciting, entertaining, but as you said, a lot of dangers. So we're going back to the run it straight, the CTE. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Prize money isn't enough to cover the medical expenses when someone turns into Michael J. Fox. True.
Kind of fun. Yeah.
Brings back the days of playing football on the beach back in Samoa. Maybe
Man,
playing.
but that's like any sport, yeah. It's like there's always a risk, It's always a risk.
And also Stowers there, Kamiki le Pita, I think. He gums. Is that what he's saying, Ron? I think he's shouting out to you. Yeah, Kamiki Malai Long, shout out me. Hello, Francis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's your cousin, right? So
He's,
me
he's
and
actually he's
Francis,
actually my neighbor.
he's my classmate from back in Samoa. So, Maloso.
Oh, true.
Would you rather play like the events that you're doing, or would you just play like a club or a private gig?
I enjoy private gigs. I mean, I've done clubs for years, and it gets to a point where I wouldn't mind doing a guest spot here and there for a club, but I've done all the nightclubs under the sun, and it's just it gets to a stage
Yeah,
because I'm trying to establish my shows. I mean, I have done shows, but I guess I'm just working on that first.
right.
That's why I haven't looked into any nightclubs here in Phoenix. Pretty much.
Is it a big Polynesian community out there?
It is. I've met a few, and I've noticed there's not many get-togethers in the community unless
Okay.
they have some sort of festival on or whatnot. That's how I met. Oh my gosh, sorry, I forgot your name. I met Cap from Hawaii.
The one at
Yeah,
PCC?
yeah, PCC.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I met Cap. Yeah, he was awesome, man. So yeah, I got to see a few Samoans there, but not many around. Like when coming to Anchorage, I saw more Samoans during the day, workers, than I did over here. Unless, like I said, unless there's a festival or. So yeah. But I'm pretty involved with a lot of the Tongan community. It's pretty cool, man. They embraced me as one of their own Damasitis, so
Now that's good to hear. I mean, that's what we want to hear.
Yeah.
About a lot of people don't hear those stories. We only hear about the of the differences, but there's a lot of people that actually have integrated. Like squash that. There shouldn't be a place for us Samoans and Tongans to have that divide. So
I've noticed that. Yes, and I agree, bro. I really agree with that. Yeah, but no, the family that I'm involved with here, like man, I've learned a lot with their culture. Like man, the Tongans they go all out. They go all out on their functions, their engagement stuff. Like man, it's crazy. So yeah, shout out to the Tohi family here in Phoenix, Arizona, and to Eniketi. Grateful for you guys for everything you guys have done for me since I've been here. Malo pito. Uh, so yeah.
all right, staying with that Polynesian theme, the next question we have here is, how does being part of the Polynesian and Pacific Islander community shape your work?
It's very important. I try to connect. Like I said, when I first came, I try to connect with a lot of the Pacifica people here. It's really crucial with what I do, and it really helps to create awareness for our people that there's another style of shows coming, artists from New Zealand that are not as known out here. I mean, a lot of them know them through all the music platforms like YouTube, Spotify. But seeing those artists in person, it's new for some. We had our first show we had in Utah. We had Javier 676. We had Swiss. We had Asuelu. Like it was good for a lot of the people to see those guys out.
Right.
Singing. They enjoyed it. They loved it. So yeah, excuse me.
Man, do you think the music scene or the party scene has gravitated more towards people going to private parties versus going out to like public places or clubs and stuff like that?
Um, I agree with that because I think it goes back to the economy, how recessions and things like that affect everyone's pocket, and it's simple to go to a cover club and have a drink there, and then to go to a club and spend $50 for like three drinks. It's okay for some, not for everyone, but yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I just see a whole big shift, within the last 10 years. Like people rather gravitate more towards like private parties and stuff like that than rather going
Mm.
out. And like you said, ever since I think 2015, I started seeing a lot of shift, and then the COVID made it worse. And now everyone's just like, there really is nothing at the bars or clubs. I mean, it's kind of tough out here with Alaska. There's not really a big night scene. So it's like everyone's just trying to do private stuff, which is good for us DJs. So
Mm. Yeah.
I
Hey,
don't
throw
know.
that
I'd rather do
question back
private.
up again on something. There was a question that just popped up. Oh, all right. You see that there from Janet? What is it that you enjoy most about your experience as a DJ?
Oh, that's a great question. I love it.
Tilly it.
I love everything about it. Oh, sorry, what was that one? I didn't understand. Man, you know what? And saying that, I'm passionate about what I do. Like
About the women?
whether I'm a promoter or I'm DJing, I'm passionate. Like for me, I always try to do well. Like because you're looking in the crowd and you'll get some people that give you the eye, like, sorry, play something else. Like, you know what I mean? But if you can get that guy that's anti Fiasiva, and then you turn around 20 minutes later and that guy's like breaking it down, he's dancing, he's like happy as, then you've done your job, you know? So
Yeah.
for me, I wanna win in that way so that those people can go away and say, man, they're looking for a DJ. And oh, remember that guy, man. So for me, every gig I get, I try to get more gigs. That's my objective. You know, and yeah, yeah. Hope that answers your question. But yeah, my little kid. Ron.
We're not gonna tell like the true reason of your DJ star name. No, the setting. I'm starting to picture this because it's been a long time since I've lived in that environment. But is there any concern? Like, have you ever had any trouble? Like, people starting trouble that where you guys feel sometimes you need backup.
Yeah, there's trouble always happens. I've seen a lot of it. I've involved in a lot of it. I try and stop it sometimes, and it happens. Anywhere there's alcohol, something's gonna spark something. And it's just the interpretation of that person and that person who don't know each other, but it's gonna always happen. So yeah, I've had my fair share.
It happens. Like you said,
Yeah.
anytime there's alcohol, I mean, there's something bound to happen. But here's the thing, I always believed in, if you pray the right stuff, you give out the right vibe. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like I kind of gravitated away from those kind of music that is like almost like fight hype music, right? The kind of music that you want to play in the gym, to get you hype, right?
Mhm.
I stay away from that stuff. If I'm in an event, or someone asked me to play for their event, which is where there's a public setting, I wouldn't play any of that music that'll kind of hype people up. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be trouble in any setting that has that, alcohol. But
Yeah.
it's
I've when fights do break out, though, like you wait, you kind of like let the song play, and then you look at it, and it's still going on. Man, I'll just drop a slow jam, man. I'll just drop a slow jam, and then I'll wait, and then sometimes they'll take them out, sometimes it'll calm down, but yeah, 9 times out of 10, I'll play a slow jam, and everyone just behaves, you know.
Do you get on the mic? Do you have somebody come to you, hey, they're fighting, you need to get on the mic? Yeah, and you have people come up to you like that?
No, I just see it and react. You know what's
Yeah.
funny that you mentioned that about the mic? There's I've noticed over here in America, a lot of the DJs, they jump on the mic, like as an MC.
Mm.
Whereas back home we have like specialist MCs that do all that. You just work
Yeah.
with them. But over here, one man gang,
Yeah, they like that's been the thing because it seems like I guess they stereotype the DJs that they have to get on the mic, but for my style, I don't even like getting on the mic. I don't even it's so weird. Like, I mean, I just focus on, my set, and sometimes people say, "Oh, DJ, you gotta get on the mic, you gotta tell them to do this." I'm like, I ain't doing that. You don't pay me enough to get on the mic. I ain't doing that, so
oh,
yeah,
really?
but that's a thing here. Like, that's the thing here. It's like, I mean, you give me $100, then I'll say something. But other than that, I'm not getting on the mic.
I thought I heard you in Anchorage that night when you were jamming. I thought you were jamming, and then I thought I heard you. Okay.
Well, no, I didn't. I said, yeah, I just can't show you. Dude, you won't catch me on the mic, bro. You won't catch me on the mic, man. I won't be on the mic. I wouldn't do that. I hate getting on the mic. Trust me, I hate getting on the mic.
Now, it's funny you guys mentioned that you try to avoid music that will sort of stir up the crowd, but I know there are some Samoan music where some Kabulunga songs. The minute you hear that that intro, oh man, people are already going wild. What is your go-to music, or maybe a Kabulunga song when you're playing that you see it will instantly rile up the Samoans?
Yeah, I've got a remix that a friend of mine did is of what is it? Of a good friend, Marina Davis, that Ole Taurunga. So as soon as they hear that,
Uh-huh.
man, it's like everyone went from R&B to like starting to Jushu, and it's like everyone's doing their dances there. I'm just like, so, but it's good. It's good, And also what Ron mentioned was there's that music that can make people get ika and whatnot, but it's not, whatever they're going through, it just amps the feeling that they're going through, because that music actually helps the hype crowd.
Yeah.
That actually helps. But yeah.
Yeah, it's the intro. It's the intro part. Like, if I know, like, if I'm in a place where there's a lot of our people, and I see them, they're just getting so wild and amped up. I just throw the intro, that the Taolunga song intro, and then it's so weird. Like, a guy could be like so hyped up and getting mad, and then when he hears the and then he's just all of a sudden he's like so respectful. It's like there's that magic in that intro that creates the respect atmosphere, right? It's like I throw that on, and that's usually that's the song I end with a lot of my sets. It's like it's almost like I'm paying homage to my own culture by.
Yeah.
Even it's a mixed crowd, but I'm telling people, like, this is who I am. This is me, So,
No, that's good. That's
Oh,
good.
Umalika, and then they're looking at each other.
dude, it's weird. Yeah,
Get some money so I can, donate.
like they're holding the bottle trying to hit somebody, and then once you play that, and then they put it down and they start dancing. I'm like, there you go. That's all you need,
That's the instant transformation of people. Say, they get you ready in the next minute.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's good.
It's just weird.
Just gotta watch out for that old lady who gets carried away and starts bumping all your equipment.
That's gonna happen regardless. That's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah, people trying to spill drinks on your equipment. So we got another question here. What are your thoughts on blending the traditional sounds with modern beats?
Oh, I do it all the time.
I love it.
you could have like an island reggae. Like it's just you just gotta try it, and with the technology, with the apps that you have now, you can do all that. Whereas once upon a time, you'd have to clash the beats with the other beat, and it kind of just sounds wrong. But now, you can just use that capella of that Bessie and a beat from Samoa, Tonga, wherever, and it just goes. So
I like it.
I actually
I
do that.
think,
I do that, especially with the
yeah.
troops. I do it all the time.
It's like you're blending, the old with the new, and then, like Star said, the technology. Like if you listen to, let's just say that artist, let's say for instance, Wayno, the way he creates the Samoan songs that he's doing now, it's a blend of back then, but he still's got a new age sound, and I
Yeah,
play that all the time. And if the crowd reacts to it, why not? Why not use it?
and he's an awesome performer too. Like I've DJed for him a few times in Melbourne when he's come over, and like you said, he does a lot of covers from back in the days, especially like with the Samoan songs, from the
Yep.
classics, and then he'll renew it and add his own flavor, and it's great, man. It's great. It's a lot of
Yeah.
energy. People love it. So
I love it. I love that blending. It's great, especially with our own music, man. We need more of that.
mm,
We see a lot of these young artists. They're very creative, like what you guys said. And I was listening to some of the. It's like a Samoan rap, but it's amazing how they incorporate the Samoan words, in their music.
yeah.
Do they solicit their music to you guys and say, "Hey DJ, can you play this on one of your venues?" How does that work for you guys?
Yeah, all the time. Like it's whoever you're connected with, they would they would send you an edit of their song that hasn't been released, and they'll ask you, hey, because you're playing at whatever clubs, they'll ask you to, hey, get this out there. They'll even like it's normal for like the artists to just send their music and releases to the radio stations before it goes out on the music platforms. So yeah, so we're the first. I guess we're the first point to actually create that awareness yeah, in the clubs through that scene.
Mm,
So, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Shout out here, go DJ Star.
Hey, talofali,
Lee Foliaki.
talofali foliaki. Yeah.
I was thinking
Yeah.
that can be like some like those buses in Samoa. Those buses, are they sort of like venturing in like partial DJ, right? Because I see some of the equipment they're using on those buses to entertain nowadays. It's almost like
Wow.
yeah.
Haven't seen that. Wow. Shucks.
Yeah, I haven't been home in a while.
Yeah, I haven't been
I
since
mean, but their
last
their
week.
buses sound like DJ systems though.
Oh man. Oh man, shucks.
Back
They
in the
sound
day,
crazy.
if you got a Lee Pinga from the States, then you will give it to the bus driver and tell them, hey, can you play this? And then you're trying to get to the right song, right? And so I don't know if this is probably before you guys, where he's rewinding it with the matchstick or something, trying to get
Yeah,
it.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and really anything.
He's like, "Fakari mate, fakari mate."
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
sometimes if that bus driver loves that music, you might not get that cassette tape back.
Nah, they'll act like it's lost day, but really, it's gold.
Yeah, he's like,
Oh,
that's mine.
It's kind of different too. Like nowadays, I don't see a lot of that though, where these new artists would come up to like DJs nowadays because of the change in platform. Like they can quickly get out on YouTube and put their stuff out there or Spotify
Hmm.
and get their music out there to a wider range of audience. Not like back in the day, but nowadays, like a lot of these newer artists, once they're done mixing and getting their music done, it's like it's already released the following day, like on their own platform. So, and it's pretty good. That's a quicker way for them to get out there. I mean, would love to see more of that music come out of the islands. So like the mixture of the rap that they got going on and all that stuff. So
hmm.
like it would be nice if us DJs here in the States would get more of that kind of music. And to kind of promote it out here too. I mean,
Right.
with everything we do out here, from poly promoters to poly DJs to poly artists, we'd love to see all of that stuff come out the island. So,
I think yeah, it's like a 50-50 thing, the promoters and whatnot, having those artists that come out, they look at who can fill the crowd and who's
yeah,
new and whatnot. Like being a new artist is great. Like, but it's like, is it going to be like feasible for the promoter side of things? Having
yeah,
new artists is great because everyone wants them. Are they going to come and support that? So yeah, and the platforms, you can see it all on the platforms, on the music platforms, where a lot of the new artists go viral. That'll work,
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, they have a slow build up of a following, and then it's just 50-50. Yeah.
Let me
I
ask
know
you
it's
guys,
like
have you guys
they do
ventured
go
in that
viral.
area?
Sorry.
Have you guys ventured in that area, like try to explore producing your own music? Is that something you guys done?
Not producing, but yeah, I make a few
Yeah,
easy
make
beats that, yeah. I do that just to add a beat to a song that's not fully complete. Like that doesn't sound full, like a song that might just have like a key color or a kick bass drum that's not really, yeah. I'll add to it. Some things
what
are
Yeah,
genre?
just
it's
worth
yeah,
reassembling.
yeah. It's always good to, like, yeah. I do the same thing. Like, if I feel the song is good, but if we like like DJs have a specific ear for a song, right? If they feel like this will hit if I add a little bit more kick, if I add a little bit more drums or a little bit more snare. So I usually go do that and just do my own little remix, and then just add a different intro, and then um then you start testing all this stuff out when you have your own gigs, and then when you see it hits, then you know that you can actually do this with all the other songs that you feel like it's incomplete. Then you just do your own remix. You just do your
Yeah,
own remix,
yeah,
because
exactly.
like DJs have a different ear. Like, if you look at DJs and if you see the kind of songs that they don't play the regular songs that you hear on the radio. It's always like there's like an extra beat to that song, and it's like for some reason you're like, man, I play this in my car, it's all right, but man, he's playing this at the party, man, this is jumping. So it's like, we're adding a different spin to it just to give it a little bit more excitement, when we're playing. So it's like I said, DJs have a different ear for this kind of stuff. So
That's good to hear. We're gonna transition into so we're gonna like pick your brain here, your inspiration, creativity. So the question is, where do you go for creative inspiration outside of your music?
Man, uh, I'm always trying to. I'm always trying to fill the gap with the new stuff that comes out. I'm not inspired. I'm more just driven to do it. And as you edit and as you create edits, you know what'll work and what won't. And you keep doing it until it just sounds perfect to my ears. You know, but inspiration, um, yeah, I was inspired by my parents. I always go back. Like if something doesn't work out for me, I always sit back and I think about what mom said. I'd replay what my father used to say to me, and then that I'll just feel like my battery's full again. I'm ready to keep at it. Like I said, I'm a go-getter and I won't stop until I get something right. Ah, yeah. So yeah.
nice.
All right, and then the follow-on question is, how do you stay grounded with such a fast-paced lifestyle?
Ooh, fast-paced. I guess for me, it's not fast paced. I've been doing this for a long time. It's not fast paced. Honestly, it's not. Um, I stay grounded by just keep chipping away at what I'm doing. you know. But from the outside, like, you know, I understand what your question is. From the outside, when friends call me, it's like, man, sorry, you're doing this over there, far, like, you know, they look at it like that. But really, it's not as fast paced as it is. When it happens, like, say, if you're at an event as a guest or as a guest DJ, or you're doing a show, it's like over in a few hours. You know, it's just like a high and then bang, finished. You know, so you just got to work on the next plans, the next goal. You know, that's how it is. That's my opinion, anyway.
Gotcha.
Is there a difference DJing in Australia, New Zealand, and that part of the world versus DJing in the US?
Yeah,
What?
massive,
Yeah.
massive difference. I've been to a few functions here and whatnot, so it's like back home. I would incorporate like obviously if you're doing a corporate, you like, you know, it's different. It's more mainstream, more pop, all the old classics, funk. Over here, man, I got educated over here. Like all I knew coming here was I probably knew like 10 country songs, and then you come over here and you're at an event and they're like, can you play and I'm like, so I've never heard of that person. So what I'm teaching, I'm like, oh, what was the name? And then I'll type it in there and then quickly download it while I'm chatting. Then I'll play the most basic version I can find on either YouTube or whatever app I can find it on, and I'll play it, and they're going crazy. But the song's like classic as there's no extra beat. They just want to hear the pussy. They just want to,
Want the
and they
original?
want to. And another thing that's popular here is like those stepping songs where they do the line dancing. I'm like, suddenly, that's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big thing out here.
Even with songs like the songs that go off is like you know the song "Do the Hustle."
Yeah,
Yeah,
the old school one.
like they love that here, eh? Like they love it, especially like back home. I only remember the Latter
Electric
Day
Slide.
Saints. Like yeah, I only remember the Mormon, the Latter Day Saints, Sivas. They would like those kind of songs, Electric Slide,
Yeah, the
Hustle.
line dancing. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, far out. That's eye opener, eh? But over here, it's normal. You know, even
Yeah,
with the hip hop songs they like here, it's like all the 64 BPM stuff. They like all that stuff. Eh?
yeah.
I'm like, man, if you played that back home at a nightclub, you would probably get bottled, or you know, back home they just want the fire, man. You know,
The
uh,
100 and up.
they just want the fire. You know, and they'll let you know. The crowd back home will let you know that you're not doing well. You know? So
How was it? How was it when you were playing at the rugby? How was that set? Because I know you were. Did you actually plan a set out, or did you freestyle it?
I freestyled everything for the breaks and the half times, but I planned my intro set, my 5 minute set, the intro one. So
Okay.
I planned it. So I just put a few songs together, and man, that was crazy because I think 2 weeks before it, I just put a few songs together. And I said, yeah, that'll work. Yeah, it's all good, easy. Man, I think it was like 3 days before it. I actually went into that list and I was playing it, and I went, man, this is not a DMC. I'm not here to like show my DJs. I'm here to play music. I'm like, oh man. But I had help from a good friend of mine, Peter Guns, DJ Peter Guns. We spoke about
Okay.
it. We laughed about it, and then after that, I just changed it. Oh man, it was funny. So,
Why'd you change it? Like, is it just because it wasn't you, or
nah, it's not that. I just thought I wanted to showcase where I can cut songs, scratch a song, play that beat, like just little snippets of it.
okay?
And then
Yeah.
that's when I was laughing with Peter. Like it was more like I was trying to impress the DJ judges, you know. But it wasn't. So yeah, I changed it like pretty much the day before. You know, I changed it. So and it
Right.
was good. It was good. I was happy I changed it because, yeah, Yeah. So
It's like you're not at a competition. You're there to play music.
exactly. No, but I loved it at the LA Sevens. It was good. I was grateful for the opportunity. I took my Lava Lava entertainment crew with me. There's 6 of us, and yeah, we all went. It was awesome. They looked after us like really well,
Oh,
man. It was
nice.
awesome. Yeah, it was awesome, eh? And I met the boys there. They had their outside show from the stadium. The Holo Holo guys
Okay,
with Body Cisco and Kenova was there. So yeah, it was good to meet up with the boys, and yeah, that's good.
that's good. More
Yeah,
relationship for you.
yeah. I had met Kenova years ago. So yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah. It's good. Shout out
Looking at your
to Body
venues,
Cisco.
how far east have you gotten so far on your work? Have you
I
been to
haven't.
Oklahoma yet?
No, I haven't. I
Okay.
haven't gone to the east side. Yeah, I haven't. I plan to, but things like that. I guess it just comes down to who's sponsoring, who's it just comes down to finance. What's gonna work. So
Yeah,
yeah.
we're slowly getting the polys out here, and at least in the Midwest. I know Jay Boog was here not too long ago. Maoli was down here, so it's good to see. The poly folks are you know at least covering the Midwest, because usually they'll just skip us altogether. But if you do come in our region, yeah, you brush up on your country when you come over here. It's a different kind of country.
Oh,
Oh,
banjo playing and
You might get here and we're like, what kind of country is that? That's a West Coast country, That ain't
yeah.
flying over here in Oklahoma.
oh man.
Sorry, I don't want to leave our viewers out. I know they've been trying to push their questions through. You can send me some
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, cool.
Okay. We had a big bus back home. My cousin had two 15s, a Pioneer stereo, and an equalizer.
Ooh,
There you go.
man, that's a nice sound, especially in a bus in Samoa, because it's is this Uporo Samoa? Because they got the wooden buses, man, that sound would be a nightclub.
It's a lot of sitting and vibrating in the bus.
I think they got flat screens in there now. And it goes on to
Oh,
say,
oh, what?
some yeah, I thought I seen one. They had like his music was synced to the flat screen, so it's good
Oh,
entertainment. So I don't know if they charge more for the processor on that one. He's
Man, I
almost
used to
got
maybe
like
listen to
stepping up.
a music little mini music, not music, but a movie theater in his bus. That's creativity right there.
the hustle's real,
Spend spend more on that than the safety, huh?
man.
It says played club hits in the morning when the bus was full of high schoolers, and then snare with the Aniseto and Mishiluki in the afternoons. There you go. He's got his
Ooh,
variety of mixtures in
Niseko.
there.
Oh man.
That's crazy.
And then question by Janet: has there ever been a conflict with a venue due to miscommunication to where it ruined an event?
Yeah, it, it happens all the time. Sometimes it's intentional. Sometimes they do like forget legitimately, but yeah, it kind of happens because the clubs are trying to maximize as much as they can. You know, so yeah, it happens. It happens.
Hmm.
You just have to negotiate. Like part of being a promoter is knowing how to negotiate a lot of situations, putting out fires and whatnot, just to make it smooth out and make it work. At the end of the day, your goal is to have a successful show, no problems and no drama. But yeah, so it's happened to me um, where my staff have come up to me and they're like, "Oh, the owner just came in and said, "Oh, you're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do this." But I had a meeting with these guys and I sat down with them in the beginning and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna bring my cooler with my esky and have all the drinks for my artists, so we don't have to spend the amount of dollars on your bar because So I think it was like an hour into the event. You know, the managers are screaming at my staff. My staff is having a go at them. Star had already sorted everything out, so I pretty much, they came and told me I was DJing. I was DJing at the time. I asked someone just to step in. You know, I spoke to the owner and the manager. I said, "Hey, let's talk in the office." And then we all went in there, and I just said, "You know, this is a really bad time to do this right now, but we need to, like, we can sort this out later on. You know, you're gonna, my morale of the team is gonna be affected like this. You know, this is not the way we want to start." So yeah, so things like that happen. You know, you just gotta deal with it and, you know, move on, and yeah.
They happen all the time.
Me, I'm positivity. Okay, well, que puse Mike Tyson going.
I know, but that kind of kills your mood, though. Yeah, like when you're in the middle of a set and someone taps you, but like you can't play R. Kelly. I'm like, but I love R. Kelly. Yeah, but you can't play R. Kelly. You know,
My mind telling me no.
yeah.
And everyone's trying to dance. Oh my gosh.
Maybe the younger generation won't notice.
Yeah, they do it all the time, and it's like, but you know, the crazy thing, they'll do it right in front when you're DJing, you're on your set, and they're like, you can't play that, you can't play that. I'm like, nobody told me, but it's still playing. They say, yeah, you can shut it off. I'm like, I'm not shutting this off. This, you know, make you look bad. You know, it's like, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah, it's
We got a
crazy.
shout out from Oliver Tamu. I want to be like you guys when I grow up. And then he also said earlier, my little boys. Tapping in from
What's up, DJ Ozum?
Hey, kia ora, DJ Ozum. Oh man.
Where's Oliver from in Texas? Let's see. Ron is in Alaska, and DJ Star's from Arizona. I'm curious, where you from, Oliver? What part of Texas?
Hey, where's the next?
Where's the next? Still have a place to stay.
Where's the next gig, Star?
I've got things in the pipeline. Just working a few things out for the shows here. The next gig is I've got because I manage a really great singer. Her name is Kiani. You know, she's got some really good songs. She did 10 years ago, so she's just come back out, and I manage her. So we've got two gigs in we've got one in Solomon Islands and one in Samoa in October.
What kind of music? Hawaii island reggae?
No, in November. Yeah, island reggae. She's
Okay.
amazing. She's amazing.
Okay.
Have you heard of her? Have you guys heard of her songs? No.
I might have seen the name, but I don't think I've heard
man.
any music yet.
She's amazing, bro. Like, damn, she's good.
Nice.
So yeah, so those are the next shows. Just working on something. I'll announce that if some of these meetings go through and I get the green light, then yeah, something will be out soon. I don't want to say anything yet because it's not official, but yeah.
Right.
No, that's good to hear. Glad to see that you've got all that coordination. Oliver responded. He's down in San Antonio, by the way. So if you guys are down that direction, San Antonio.
Texas barbecue.
Oh, okay. Dumb man.
And of course, they're also down in Houston, and we got some folks down in Dallas. And then I actually live in Norman, Oklahoma, which is about 15 minutes from Oklahoma City. So if anyone's up and down I-35 or flying through Oklahoma City, yeah, you can always reach me. I'm about 25 minutes from the Oklahoma City airport.
Oh, nice.
So if you need someone to call while you're in this direction, yeah, feel free to hit me up.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so we got this question here. Now we're looking at future focus. What's the vision behind your DJ brand in the next 3 to 5 years?
Just keep going. just keep going and growing and keep trying to establish myself over here. Pretty much. That's. There's a lot of things in the works, but like I said, I don't want to say too much. But that's pretty much it for me. I just got to keep going. Whatever gig I get, I've got to just make the most of it and hopefully get more gigs. And it's pretty much the outlook right there. Obviously, I manage Kiani, working on her EP at the moment. So once that's released, we're trying to release it in the next, hopefully, in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
So
I forgot to mention this earlier. I was supposed to ask you. I always like to do shout out to the village, your family village in Samoa. So go ahead and tell us where your family's village is in Samoa.
I grew up in Whatoia in Upolu, Apia. My mother's from there. I grew up there. My father's from Whastautai, which is closer to the the Whaleolo airport. Yeah,
What's the last time you've been home?
2019.
19.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I think the last time I was back in Samoa was 18. So you got me beat. What about you, Ron?
Shoot, families from American Samoa, village of Malaialoa. Parents still live back home, and I still have two sisters and my brother still back home. But yeah, I mean, I haven't been back home. I mean, I think the last time was what 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice. Man, I was back there, 2019, and I was there for 2 weeks, and my experience was like I went over with a bit of money, and most of my money went on food. Most of the money went on food, pretty much. Everyone else, I knew everyone in Samoa. It was good seeing all the guys I used to play rugby with were like, you know, they were well off. They were taking me everywhere. I was DJing at a few clubs and whatnot, and man, I loved it back there. Loved it, man. Shucks.
Yeah, it'd be nice to go back home and play.
Coaching gigs in sight. Have you put rugby all to your past, or is that something you think you might be interested in?
You know what? That's a good question. Since I've been here, I've just probably in the last month, 2 months, last month I've been watching the MLR competition over here. So I've been in contact with the development rugby officer that develops a lot of the Eagles players, the USA rugby.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, so I'm looking into coaching it at some stage.
Oh,
I've
good.
just got to finish off some certs online that I need to complete. Obviously you got to have it on paper before you apply your experience. But yeah, I'd really like that at this time in my life, to coach and watching the competition. Man, America's really growing, in the competition here. Like they're investing in it too, having a lot of New Zealand players, English players that are coming over to strengthen the comp, whether they be playing or coaching. It's good to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good to see. So yeah.
No, it's good to hear. We definitely can use, that experience. Is there a difference in what you see in the style of play in the islands versus Europe versus United States?
I think, yeah, like I said, New Zealand is, Australia is, they're rugby nations. Like they breathe, live rugby. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's probably similar to the NFL here, like the baseball, the basketball. America will school anyone in those games. Um, but like I said, America's growing. Like they are growing at a fast rate, which is really good to see. Watching the competition over the last few weeks, it's entertaining. Mm.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
imagine if they catch up,
Yeah.
Oh man, I always said this. I remember my father saying this back in the day, and he said, "America's a sleeping giant. Like once they like fully like 100% get into this rugby thing, it's game over for everyone, you know, because
Yeah,
America has the resources, the everything to
yeah,
get behind their rugby teams and whatnot. So it's only a matter of time, you know.
yeah, that's right.
Thank you, Naila. Naila sends the love to the panel tonight. I love Naila.
Hey, Nana.
What was the other country that was seemed like they caught up quick, unexpectedly? Was it Korea or Japan? One of those nations. Did they catch us off surprise at the quick rise?
Yeah, yeah, Japan's doing great, you know. Um, yeah, I I feel like all these nations. Let's go back to '95 World Cup. You know, all those teams like Argentina, Scotland. I mean, not Scotland. Sorry, Argentina, Japan. Like they were like teams that you'll go and no disrespect, but you'd go there and get a bonus point. You know, when you play these teams, it's like, oh yeah, sweet, this is an easy rollover. But nowadays, it's like everyone's catching up, and our poor Samoa team is, you know, kind of like falling back a bit. You know, it's sad, but you know, like you said earlier, like the more they put into these rugby teams, you know, they're gonna get a lot out of it. You know, so we have the players, man. We have the talent. We have the players. All the Pacific Islands have the players. It's just lack of resources. You know, like you know, everyone's professional, but at the same time, they got families. You know, and a lot of our Pacific Island players, they have to play overseas to you know put food on the table later. So yeah. Anyway, that's another matter in itself. But yeah.
Now I'm curious, what was the pay like? When you played back in the day, did you guys get paid pretty good to play for the Samoa team?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was okay. I won't say too much, but yeah, it was good. You know.
Well, compared to today, I guess there's more luxury today for the current players compared to back then.
Yeah, I think compared to the other nations at the time, there was nothing. But yeah, yeah. But I was mainly based overseas, so we got paid a lot more overseas than playing for your country and whatnot. Mhm.
Hey, are you taking like any kind of gigs at this point, or are you just trying to focus more on the promoting?
Yeah, I focus on the promoting. If the gigs are worth my time, I'll do it. I'll do it. You know. Um,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm thinking worth your time in terms of money, right?
It's all about the money, my friend. It's
That's
all about the
right.
money. The money
That's
helps, you
right.
know. It's you know, you plan for these things. You know, as a DJ, whatever gig comes, it's like the questions are there. Okay, you know, how long is it for? What's the event? How many people? You know, all those things come into play. You know, a lot of people think that, you know, you just rock up there, plug your speakers into YouTube, and then you just pick a song. But that's what I seen when I came here, and I was thinking, wow, okay, that's not really DJing, but okay, no, it works. It works. It works for some. You know, I'm not here to disrespect anyone. You know, everyone has their own way of doing things. But yeah, some people don't understand that concept. But when a lot of the good gigs that I've got here, it's I've been very fortunate to get it. You know, and I'm grateful for it. So
Or how about this? How about this? Why are you so expensive? What will you say to a customer like that? Like I'm coming to you. Hey, I want to book you, and then you give them the price, and then be like, "That's too expensive." What would you say to someone like that? What would be your answer to someone like that?
uh, yeah, I wouldn't entertain that. To be honest, wouldn't waste my time. If you have to if you have to justify to someone that went out of their way to get you, and then now they're trying to bargain with you, I feel like it's just yeah, pretty much I won't entertain it. To be honest, I'm not saying that to be fikangaka or whatever, but I'll explain it to them like you know the crowd that you're coming with. You know, if you were to get, because you know they'll always say something like, oh, we had this other guy that DJ for us. We only gave him like $800, And I said, yeah, I
Right.
can understand that, but this is why I come with this many years experience. I can read a crowd. I know the different genres and like the different age groups that are coming. So I'll play for the little kiddies that are running around. You play their songs that they love listening to on
Right.
TikTok or something. You just can't, like I always say this. You can't beat experience.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and in saying that, you're never gonna please anyone. But if you can like entertain majority of everyone, then I've done my job.
Yeah.
So
No, you're exactly right, and also know your worth, right?
you could
Because the minute you
yeah you
devalue
could
yourself, and then that's the expectation they will place on
yeah
you.
you could have like for example, you could have a lady would be like, or a guy or someone would say, man, he played this one song, and that was like a 6 hour event. He played that one song, he's the best DJ. And I'm like, okay. But do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
everyone interprets it different. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's just crazy when people always like you said, is it worth your time to justify why your price is what it is? And like you said, like you're not paying for the 4 or 5 hours I'm there. You're paying for 25 years of experience. That's what you're playing
Yeah,
for. And
yeah,
that incorporates, beat mixing, beat matching, that incorporates crowd rating, that incorporates different genres. I mean, and then that incorporates like if you want this party to pop, if you want it to be live, then that's what I can bring. All that stuff. So it's
yeah,
like, what's the point of justifying when you don't, like you said, if they're gonna go out of their way to get you and then ask you about the price and what's it worth, right?
yeah. That's why the big events is good. They don't even question anything. They make an offer, and you think, oh wow, my offer was lower than that, but okay, I'll take it. like, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I I always think it's best when people call you, and right, like it's not a
yeah,
gig that you went to go look for, but when they call you and they say, "Hey, we want you," and then they don't ask for the price first, is like that's what I always like kind of differentiate or categorize. I hate to
yeah,
say that, but like a lot of people like I deal with, when I know they don't talk about the price, and then all they say is, yeah, just let me know, and then I'm gonna book you, and then I'm like, okay. And those are the kind of customers, I kind of want, right? But the ones it's like, if I'm going back and forth with you on price and it takes, it's taking me like a 30-minute text or phone call just to go back and forth, then it's like, I don't think I just tell them, look, I don't think I'm the one for you. I don't think I'm the one for you.
that's right.
I just
So yeah,
like,
and there's
I
always
can't.
that. Yeah, sorry, finish off
No,
your
no, go
question.
ahead, go ahead.
No, there's always those people that, I mean, there's an exception for me. There's an exception. If my older sister said to me, "Hello, DJ le for le fundraiser le fai o le kalapula kapi," and then I'll be like, I have no choice. That's my sister. Right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'll do that because you're giving back to the community in that
Mm.
sense. But then in the community also, if people start hearing that you're doing a gig for that friend and that friend for like $500, they're like, oh man, just get him, he's cheap.
Right.
You're actually uh you're not doing yourself any favors in doing that. You know what I mean? So you'd say to your good friend or whoever, if anyone asks, just say it was this much, but I'll do this favor for you because we have history. Yeah, that's what you do for your friends,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like one-off things like that, which you can make an exception. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Family is an exception, but to an extent, you know.
Yeah.
yeah,
You don't want that family who has 10 gigs in 1 year and they'd be like, oh, free everything. I'm like, yeah, no, no, we can't do that. So,
Or in a
um,
poly form of payment,
yeah,
"Baku pusa piso po," or
or,
some.
or,
yeah.
or
That's true.
say, "Kung yo el vasole," and the gig finished. And I'm like, yeah, not doing that here, buddy.
Oh
I
man.
mean, it's a difficult scene sometimes, especially with our own people. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's true. I mean, and there's an exception to the rule. Like, if you know it's a like if it's a event that it go vai, it's
Mm.
like
Yeah.
and then you kind of think and you'd be like, all right, but at the same time, it's like, how many times are you gonna be doing that, without jeopardizing um your own business, your own DJ, your
Right.
own brand, So like Star said, oh, okay, if they found out I gave them a discount, now they're gonna want the same discount, and then they're gonna think I'm a cheap DJ, and I'm like, no, it's not about being cheap. It's just sometimes, we do have that heart, but we still got to look out for our own too at the same time.
You don't want to be branded as DJ Timu, version of these
And you
things.
might as well call yourself DJ Discount.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, just like what Nyla Tui just said, triple a discount. It's funny how, you know what, I remember in my younger years, like when someone would come up straight off the bat and ask me, hey, we want to get you to DJ this 21st. Can you give us a discount? And I'm thinking, man. And then sometimes I would like, because when you're younger, you feel like, I'm not as nice as I am in my older years, but I was very ruthless back then. And I would turn around and say, that's like me asking you at your job to give me Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of your pay to me.
Right.
Like I would say things like that back then, and I'm just like, man, I can already see where this is going. Because then they'll add in things like, give us a discount, and you'll get like a big tray of mea ai, like it'll be a good mea ai, and I'm thinking,
Mm.
oh my gosh. I'm like, sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You know?
I just, I don't think that they think our value is up to that dollar amount that we're talking about, right? Like, let's just say, I'm just gonna throw a figure out there. Like, let's just say for 1,000 and up, a lot of these people that I do talk to, like, they're really thinking that, okay, I'm talking like they're thinking about like a $600 number or a $500 number for, let's say, a 6 to 8 hour gig, and I'm like, 6 to 8 hour gig. I was like, that doesn't even cover my food for that day. I'm like, I'm not doing that. It's like, and I guess they don't understand the fact of what our value is, right? And
Mm,
um, I think that if you're gonna pay for a venue, if you're gonna spend $2,000 to $3,000 on a venue, $4,000 to $5,000 on food, and then you spend $300 on a DJ, your party's gonna suck. Your party's gonna suck.
yeah.
So my thing is like, you put us in that range. Put us in the range of how you're paying your food, you're paying the venue. That's we're up there with that kind of range. Like, we're not joking. Like, if DJs who've done this for 10 plus years and up, they understand the value and the worth. Like, that's why a lot of times it's like, at this point, I do say no to gigs. I'm like, no, it's not worth my time. It's not worth my time. You almost figure out what's my minimum dollar value that I can say yes to, and then anything below that, I'm like, it's not worth it.
Mm.
In
That's just
saying
a
that,
crazy thing.
in saying that, it's funny because, after you refuse that gig and it's like, sorry, things didn't work out, there's a lot of DJs out there. 9 times out of 10, they'll ring you after and say, you know what, man, damn, I wish I booked you, man. You know what happened? And then they'll tell you exactly what happened. And I said, that's exactly what I was trying to tell you. Experience goes a long way. But anyway, yeah, it happens.
Yeah, you get what you
People,
pay.
and I get it. I get it. People want to get things.
Exactly.
People want to spend like next to nothing on getting things, and that's human nature. Yeah, but you pay for service. Quality service. Like you said.
Just like up here, like, I think, especially up here in the States, if let's just say for a poly gig, and there's going to be so much performances, there's going to be so much, let's just say if there's about 5 to 8 performances happening on a day of a birthday, and there's so much formalities, and then you've got all these different groups that are going to come up to you, and if you're experienced enough, you already know what to do, right? You got to have top-notch internet with you at the same time.
Mm.
You got to make sure that
Mm,
you go through your process, like, make sure you have 5 different YouTubes up at the same time, because you're gonna have these. They're not gonna have their music sent to you the day before. Everything's gonna happen on that day, right? And for an experienced DJ to make this the day go by smooth, meaning like there's no pauses when they're coming up for their music. Everything, oh, I got it, and then they're playing it. Oh, I got it. 9 times out of 10, when you go to an event where there's a non-experienced DJ, and there's performances. Sometimes you're waiting 2-3 minutes for him to look for a song, look for the
Wow.
song on YouTube, or people, the dance performers are waiting, and they're, I mean, I've seen it time and time again, and I always say to myself, like, that's where experience kicks in. Like,
Mhm.
this is exactly why you get what you pay for. If you're gonna say, "Oh, that guy used to play songs at our church, and he'll do it," he'll do it. We don't have the budget for it, right? And then
Yeah,
the day of,
yeah,
he has like 3 different phones on his table. He's trying to search all this music, and I'm like, so this is the guy that you guys went with, right? You guys got a $10,000 budget for this event, and then you guys got a $2 DJ. Like, no offense to all these other DJs, but I'm just saying the experience comes a long way. This is exactly why, like, you gotta respect the value that we bring. Like, there's reasons why we charge the way we charge, so
Right.
yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Now, a good point, because I was thinking, like, when I got married, and it's like 20 plus years ago. Shoot, I think we paid like 2 grand, and that must have been low back then. So if you're paying that amount, you know, you're just selling yourself short.
you gotta understand your value, man. Like, at this point, there's guys who just started DJing last year. Like, nowadays, like, they're like, with social media and vlogging and putting yourself out there, you can quickly give out the misconception that you got it right, you good. But if you don't understand the different scenarios within the DJ realm, and you haven't gone through it, then there's going to be a time where it's going to show. It's going to show. So
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna transition into what we call the rapid fires, and then we'll get our final reflection. So, favorite song to start a party?
Start a party. Oh, I always I don't have a favorite song. I always like start it with a smooth groove, like nothing too hype, because everyone's catching up. Everyone's so it can be anywhere around the 90 BPM or something like that.
I feel a pumping crying now.
Nah, shucks. I reckon.
Hey, they should make us some one version.
Yeah, I'll probably start it off with like like my neck, my back.
There you go. They should do some one version of that too.
Yeah, so yeah, it's crazy. Parties. Yeah.
So on the same question, now we go on the opposite end. Opposite end. So, what is the worst song to request during the set?
Oh man, it's just something that's not that's not on the same sort of energy as what you're on. You know,
100%.
like you'd be. It's like the whole crowd's dancing, right? And I used to get this all the time in Melbourne. They'll come up and be like, "Can you play like a random song that just does not go?" And she goes, "Can you play something we're dancing to?" And I said, "You're the only one." I'll be like, "You're the only one that's not dancing." And look, everyone's dancing, and you want to play a song that's gonna totally like just kill the crowd. So, yeah.
Send them to the bar; they'll dance.
There you go.
What is your dream venue or festival to headline?
Man, what's that? What's that? What's that festival they have here in America in the desert? It's
The
crazy.
Pride.
I don't know if I'm saying it right. Is it Othello or Cello or?
Yeah, I know what you're
Right?
talking about. What is that one called? Is that the one that's in the open?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
that'll
Is
be
it like
crazy.
that EDM, that EDM festival?
No, because they've got different genres in there. Yeah, but you know what? And saying that EDM festival they had in Vegas not long ago, man, that'll be
Yeah.
awesome to jam at that. Hey, I mean,
Oh man,
majority of the songs, I don't know if they're on 4 hours or something, but
they
it's just
gotta
straight,
be.
the straight Samala pieces.
You
Yeah,
could
it's just
play, you could play some one song and they'll still be moving like
yeah,
150 BPM. It's
yeah,
crazy.
crazy.
I think it's Coachella. Is it Coachella?
That's the one.
Coachella.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
one.
yeah. I have to play that. That'll be
Oh, okay. So now we'll go to the Final reflections. What message do you want to leave with young Pacific Island creatives chasing the dream?
Creators or DJs? Just creators.
Yeah, I guess you can use the term interchangeably.
Mm. I think I don't know. Work on your craft, practice your craft, um, and get it right. There's a lot of young ones that'll come up to you and they want everything handed to them. Like this is my experience. I remember coming out of a club and a guy come up to me and goes, "Hey, can you give me your playlist and can you give me your songs so I can DJ too?" And I'm thinking, "Oh man, you're losing the whole point. If you don't have love for it, if you don't, because you got to, you put your own twist on what you do, yeah, and how you do it, right? So yeah, the more you invest in it, get it right, practice, and love what you do. Yeah, that's pretty much.
How can fans support you beyond showing up, and how can people book you or follow your journey?
Uh, I'm on social media.
OnlyFans.
Oh no, that's you. Wait, I knew you were on there. I knew it. Hey, is that your page, Ron? Is that your page? I saw your page.
Ron started his page a week or
I
so
knew
ago.
that was you. I knew it. Oh man. Yeah,
Dale, cada un malo, your whole name start.
Oh man. Now they can follow me on any social medias. Just book DJ Star, and yeah, my pages will pop up pretty much. But yeah,
Nice.
Okay, so we're kind of getting close to the max of our time here, but appreciate you guys coming on and sharing your story. You know, from rugby and then now with the DJ. Thanks to you as well, Ron, just to sharing more. With having that mindset and understanding of that specific field. So I was just gonna turn it over to you, Star. Any last words?
no, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to have me on. Really appreciate it, you guys reaching out. Yeah, no, I'm just grateful, pretty much, just grateful, and yeah, just want to say hi to everyone out there. Thanks for following the show, the podcast. I've been watching your podcast for a few weeks, and some very valid and interesting views on the political things happening around the world, and especially with our Samoan traditional point of views that you guys shared. So yeah, no, keep up the great work, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, mahalo.
Thank you. So, without Ron,
Hey, appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on, man. We'll talk DJ Star.
yeah. So before we close, just want to thank all our viewers out there. And like Star said, so part of our Pulse of Polynesia, we're extending it to our other brothers and sisters beyond, the Samoa Islands. So we do have some Fijians, Tongans, and more than just Polynesia. We don't want to be limited to Polynesia. We're expanding our interviews to other people. We term it Pacific Island. So even though our name is Pulse of Polynesia, but we want to extend that invite to others of the Pacific. So we do have people lined up other than our Samoan people, but it was our way to start. We started with our people because most of them accepted our invite, but we do have a lot of people of the poly folks. If you look at our videos, a lot of them, we share the same struggles, and they're listening to our solutions, and so that's what our voice is here for. Um, just want to just a little bit of a moment of a reflection of what happened this past week with all the protests, but one of our own sons was who passed away from one of the one of the events this week. So say a prayer for his family. Say a prayer for our people who are, well, not just only our people, just anyone that are involved in the protest. That's what America's for, right? We have that freedom for you to express that right to protest. So whether you're for it or not, just respect that opposing opinion, and hopefully we can tame all the violence that is associated. That's unnecessary. Just respect each other's opposite point of view. Thank you all our viewers for tuning in, and once again, thank you, brother DJ Star and brother Ron for your time tonight. For everyone who tuned in tonight, and especially those who sent in our comments. It's your opinions that also completes our views. It wouldn't have been complete without you. And Sister Lasso and Lean also working from behind the scenes. Also want to shout out to those as well. As we close tonight, we pray for your safety and have a good night to all of you. So far, so far.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night.